PlayStation 2 is the greatest console of all time, bar none. Over 100 million consoles sold worldwide. We had many different versions of the PlayStation 2 console. We had the original console, the Slim. We had variants of the consoles with different colors, special editions. It was a special time for gaming in the 2000s. From Tony Hawk Underground, Crash Bandicoot, we had Spyro, so many amazing games that I'm missing out on just there. This is where the memories of the 2000 kids are right there. If you are a millennial, man, like the PlayStation 2, everyone had one. Everyone's mom, dad, daughter, grandma, auntie, everybody had a PlayStation 2. And this is why I bought a PlayStation 2 in 2023. Again, my older PlayStation 2s broke and I always used to lift it out from the garage and play it again just for the nostalgia, just for the memories. It's just one of my favorite consoles of all time, bar none. Like, some of the games were just still so much fun to play. Like, there's just no arguing that the games were just special during this time, and there was something just different about the gaming experience back then that just made it way more fun. I think it was just the simplicity of the games, but the games design were just fantastic during this time period. It was before all the online games, before the microtransactions, before all that started. You know, we have the PlayStation 2 and there was no online modes for this thing, and it was such a great time. We had the multiplayer abilities for having just two controllers. You brought it over to your mates and you would play games with them physically, and that's what made it such a special time, with so many special memories. A couple of things I just found out was that this logo actually can flip. I didn't know that until recently. That was just a brand new thing that I just realized, was if you actually turn this the other way, you can actually turn this logo the other way. Like, just, you find out these little things like later on, and you know, it's just a special time. This controller, by the way, was such a great controller, such a lightweight controller, and it made sense like where these paddles are. It was just my favorite controller of all time because the design of the layout was so simple and it made sense. But I tell you what, I've gone through like 4 of these controllers in my lifetime, so all of my old controllers are just completely dead. Some of the buttons don't even work, so there have been issues with this controller over time. But I just bought a new one and it works, and it cost me only like 30 bucks, and that's it, man. That's all you have to do, and you just buy a new controller. These memory cards though, do you remember when like cartridges used to be like blow them and then they would actually work? This reminds me of that. This is an 8 megabyte memory card, and this is what we always used to use for our PlayStation 2s. And you can actually store multiple memory cards. So you got slot 1 and 2. This would be enough to hold like as many PlayStation 2 games as you want on it, because all the information on the PlayStation 2 games were just literally on the discs. I used to use just PC parts to basically just build the internals for PlayStation 2 that had no custom SSDs or anything like that we have these days with our newest consoles. Wow, look at that. So that's where you would put your external memory card in. That is massive. I didn't even realize that was there back in the day until now. Also, because it has like an AV out, the way you can actually connect it through to HDMI is with one of these cables. So you can connect it via HDMI with HD TV cables that I got. So basically, this also has multiple aspect ratios, so you can have 4:3 or 69 depending on what monitor you have. It's been working for me really well. So as you can see, it's pretty long, which is really good, and basically that will convert your AV output to HDMI, which is really super useful, and you can use it for PlayStation 1 as well as your PlayStation 2, and it connects via USB. So you have like a micro SD cable going in there, and then that connects via USB. So I just connect that to a hard drive that I have in my monitor, and it's a lifesaver. Like, I don't have to go out and buy like an old TV or anything. I can just use it with my new game consoles So this one's a pre-owned model. I can see that it definitely needs a good clean because I can see in this fan, there's a lot of dust. Also, in terms of the PlayStation 2, like some of the issues that I've had, that a lot of people have had, is stuff like the disc tray, like just not pulling out. So that's a common issue. Also with the laser, like the lasers in these PlayStation 2s do not last forever. So it does require a bit of care for your PlayStation 2s because these things can break, but they sell for super cheap. Like I bought this thing for $150 Australian, which is such a great price. Some of the games are more expensive than this console itself. I saw Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi for like $150 itself as well. So some of these pre-owned games go for more than this actual console itself. So that's why I'm like, bro, the nostalgia, the games that you get to play, like why not? Also, in saying this, with the games, like there's just no backwards compatibility with the new PlayStation 5 or really the PlayStation 4 as well with the PlayStation 2 games. Like, yes, you can get like these subscriptions that can play some of these PlayStation 2 games, but they just don't have the games that I actually want to play. And yes, there are remasters of some of these games like Tony Hawk. They did remaster some of those games. Spyro remastered. They've got Final Fantasy remasters. They've got Resident Evil remasters. We've got plenty of games there that have been remastered, but I can't play games like Simpsons Hit and Run. I can't play games like Tony Hawk Underground, Need for Speed games that I used to play when I was a kid. I can't play old WWE games that I used to play, that I used to love the GM mode for. Can't play Here Comes the Pain, you know, No Mercy. Even some of the older X-Men games, like I used to love these games. Like there's such a great library for the PlayStation 2, you know what I mean? And as you've seen, like I did buy some of these, but yeah, man, like some of these I can't actually get for the PlayStation 5. Simpsons Hit and Run. Yes, I spent $75 on Simpsons Hit and Run. Was it worth it? Absolutely. Like, it's just such a great game. It's better than some of the games that we are getting these days. The fact that we can just ride around in any vehicle, it's almost like a GTA game, but it's like a Simpsons game, right? Like, it's just the funnest thing ever. And I can't wait to actually finish this game again. FIFA Street. Yes, we have FIFA Volta, but it just doesn't recreate the FIFA Street thing. Like, FIFA Street was such a special game back in the day. I wish they could create more of these types of things. Crash Bandicoot, Wrath of Cortex, and Spyro, Enter the Dragon. Yes, they remastered these games, but it's just so much fun playing the original console. I don't know, man. Like, I don't think they did remaster Wrath of Cortex, but they definitely remastered the original 3 Crash Bandicoots, and same as Spyro. Like, some of the Spyro games I definitely loved when I was a kid. I definitely completed some of those Spyro games. Tony Hawk Underground. I completed this game and I smashed it out, and it is so much fun. Yeah, they did remaster some of these Tony Hawk games, but I'm pretty sure they didn't remaster the Tony Hawk Underground series. This is why I need the PlayStation 2 so I can play Tony Hawk Underground. And like I said before, like the GM modes for these games, and as well as SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, like the gameplay itself, it's so much better done than how it is these days. Like it just, WWE 2K23 and further just doesn't compare to what this was for WWE games in itself. Like you can't disagree with that. Like they're just so much better and so much more fun, and you can't play them on the PlayStation 5, which is why I need a PlayStation 2. I don't think anyone's gonna argue with this, that the PlayStation 2 is goated. So thank you for watching my video. See you guys next time.